Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 209, Taxation is Theft. So all the Americans out there, what was America built on? Why did the colonies declare independence from England? Was it because they liked taxation without representation? Oh, of course not, but Americans are hypocrites. So I just got my property tax today. And so, you know how we do it on this one. The primary function of this lecture series is to document ongoing criminal activity. My constitutional rights, Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 70 of the United States Constitution, gives me a right to my writings and my discoveries. My writings and my discoveries consist of, north of 500 plus lecture videos, as well as a 40 plus page thesis. I've not been allowed to defend my thesis, which is, again, directly against the law. Subsequently, I've lost out in over 10 figures of financial losses strictly from the proofing that is contained within my thesis as a contractual financial reward, as well as, more importantly, complete destruction of my reputation and ability to get my credentials and network, making having a livable wage absolutely impossible. I'm currently working full-time as a server. I will probably clear, again, right around $22,000 this year, working literally full-time. All I'm asking, the only thing I'm trying to accomplish out of any of these videos anymore is to find some way to establish basic financial stability. I don't care what that looks like. I don't care if it was a loan from my parents. I don't care if it's living with my parents. I don't care if it's collecting my property. I don't care if it's working full time. I just want some way to not have this financial stress of not being able to pay my bills. And I get my property tax bill yesterday, and it has now gone up 20%, and my home value has not. So awesome. And I've cut out, there is nothing else I can budget. There is literally, I don't go out, I don't go on vacations, I don't buy new clothes, I don't buy anything besides basic essentials, literally. And so once again, I can't go 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months without something small, medium, or large respectfully happening that's completely illegal. Again, every time I have to do a transaction, I have to pay state tax. I don't get constitutional rights. I have to pay property tax. You never really own anything. The government just decides that they can take money from you. Every time at any transaction, property tax, income tax, it is all theft for me. And if for me particularly, again in general, taxation is theft by definition. But is taxation really wrong? Well, if you have constitutional rights, not really. But again, I would voluntarily pay taxes if I can make an income proportionate to what my skill sets are in the property that I've developed. That doesn't exist. And so again, I'm still completely financially stressed, working full time, applying to new positions, and again, my credentials, my reputation, my ability to network is completely fraudulently restricted. And so all I'm asking is for somebody, out of the hundreds of thousands of people out there that literally knows exactly what's going on in my life, and you guys want to do something, please help me. Please do something to help me. I can't do anything else without getting swatted or getting called a threat or being scary simply because of my presence and the tone of my voice, which is my normal speaking tone. But as always, no one really cares about anything, but everyone is hypocrites, and nobody feels responsibility for their actions. My parents abused me, my teachers abused me, my coaches abused me, my local newscasters have abused me, the FBI has abused me, the CIA has abused me. All I want is some way to make some money. That's it. I don't care what that looks like, I just want some way to make some money. And I am the scapegoat. I mean, another big point, if you're new to this lecture series, what we do is it's like my news broadcast, if you want to call it that. But it's a mix of lectures, current events, talking points, relevant and random stories about my life and about human behavior, and history topics when they arise, but I've covered most of the things I want there. I might introduce a new project. I'm thinking about doing a new project again last year as a historian reading the Bible. Again, of course, nobody takes any time to listen to that stuff, but they see you reading the Bible like, oh, are you Christian? I'm like, no, I'm a historian. Do you guys have attention spans of 2 seconds and can't listen to anything? It's like, yeah, it's okay. It's like, you can't converse with somebody that's not able just to sit down and listen. You just can't. And so my reputation has been destroyed. Again, offering full tuition. I'm offering $250,000 to whoever gives me some way to make some money on a stable, ongoing way. Literally, I don't care. I don't care if it's $40,000 a year, but we'll guarantee you payment. We'll guarantee you a job for 10 years. I'll pay you $250,000, which is every penny that I have to my name legally. And I just want this abuse to stop. All I'm trying to do is get out of this process of abuse. I was born more mature than the adults in my community. All they did in their entire lives was play games and compete over nothing. And now people are in the workforce and they're competing over stuff and they feel like it's not their responsibility. But it's like, you guys destroyed my life. St. Paul, DeSales, Central Ohio, Columbus, local newscasters, Jennifer Bullock, whoever else swatted me. But again, I offered local newscasters substantial money to just report on the news. I clearly have demonstrated merit in science, physics, math, music, history, law, blah, 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 list everything else. Can I just please have a way to make some money, please? Like, why do we keep doing this? But the answer is people will literally just not acknowledge that I exist. It is the right of a group to abuse the scapegoat. Scapegoating is a real psychological function. People have their parents, they have their people, their bosses, or people, their guardians, people that they respect in their lives. They have people that they have influence over. If you have children, you guide them, you grow up, you have peers, you have acquaintances. And then you have the scapegoat, the person that gets blamed for literally everything. There's never been, nobody sat in a room and said, let's go fuck up Brad's life, let's go do this to him. It's just a social function of being more mature than people, being biologically younger than them, and not being respected. And then it just forms. But then once you get established as a scapegoat, you get blamed for everything. And with my presence and my tone, it scares people, so then they call me a threat. It has happened to me hundreds of thousands of independent times. Thousands of times to a substantial level where it's just like, holy fucking shit, I am getting abused. And then it's like, okay guys, just like step out of it. I'm the kid, they pull off the thing and said, where's the kid, where's the kid? And I'm like, okay guys, the joke's over, let's move on. And there's like, and that process has never stopped. It has been continuous my entire life. But again, it is seeing my property tax bill just makes my gut drop because I can't afford anything as is and I'm working full time. I am trying. I grew up around thousands of people, hundreds of people that I knew personally. Now, one person in this community can find me a way to make $45,000 a year. That would double my income, literally double it. And once again, I don't care about publication anymore. I don't care about being famous or being acknowledged. I just want basic financial stability. I'm working full time and I'm trying to find jobs. I am the leading expert in all things scientific research. I am a prolific musical composer and songwriter. I do tons of things in economics. I teach guitar. I teach languages. I have languages series. I have all of these different things, 15 different things. You can look on my YouTube playlists. All of these skill sets I've developed for 10 years. And all I want is one way to make money. I sold my parents a piece of my property. They breached contract. I don't have access to court. I filed a legitimate, there would be 50 different people I would sue before my own parents. Not because my parents haven't committed crimes against me, but they're the bigger fish. This is the government committing crimes against me. And then people say, that's not happening, you're crazy. These people have approached me in person. If anything surprises you, these people have approached me 50, 60, 70 different times in person. They won't give me a time frame of publication or payment. It's not cute, it's not fun. It is torture. Nobody cares. And so, again, I have a job where they guaranteed me 30 hours a week at least, and then you get sent home an hour, 2 hours early every single shift on a slow day. And then you get called off. I got called off once this week. And it's just like how does anybody live a life in the United States of America? How does anybody live a life? Without basic financial stability, it is literally impossible. And so, moving on to stories and talking points, it's just exhausting. It is absolute fundamentally torture. Again, Adam, 2.5 years ago now, remember, so why are you so worried about money? Because bills keep coming and I still don't have any income. None. Zero. With a time frame, hey Brad, we might give you, again, not publication, we'll give you a job offer in 5 years. I can comfortably live on $50,000 a year and be happy, feel safe. And again, violating my rights is endangering my life. I do not have access to health care. I have permanent damage in my right ear because I was not able to treat an ear infection because of money. I have permanent damage in my back because I'm not able to access stem cell treatments because of money. I just sit here knowing that anything, my HVAC goes out, something happens to my house, I am going to lose the money that I need. Again, I have $200,000, but it's accruing interest. I will make, again, maybe in a pay period, $1,400 to $2,000 net income from working full time, and then maybe have $600 to $800 a month of interest. But I need that interest. That is part of the thing that I'm budgeting to get to the level of where my parents breached contract at $2,800 a month that I sold them against my company, which is legitimate. But they won't treat me like a professional adult. I don't have a network. I have nobody. And so I'm absolutely completely alone in this world in terms of finances. Like there's nobody who's going to help me. Nobody's going to reach out. Nobody cares. And then I have no ability to network or access my credentials or at court. I'm literally being state-sponsored abused to a prolific level by the state of Ohio, by Governor DeWine, by Mayor Andrew Ginther, by the local law enforcement. by Joe Biden, by the government, by the federal government, and by the international government, by the academic communities and by the business communities. People will just not acknowledge that I exist. So when people walk past me at Grafton Park and like, it's just his territory, be nice, every crime will be punished 100%. Treason will be met with capital punishment. Substantial fraud, racketeering, conspiracy will be met with 25 to life. Every single count. It doesn't matter how long it takes, today, tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. The crimes, the statute of limitations wouldn't even legally kick in until the abuse, the crime, and the damages has stopped. And it is happening all day, every day. Nobody gives a fuck. Because Americans were literally taught all day to play games and compete over nothing. And like, again, it's so amazing to me how real it is. I literally spent my entire childhood saying, I hate sports, this is such a waste of time. My parents were like, no man, don't worry about money, focus on school. And then here's me focusing on school, mom and dad. I'm sure you guys don't watch this shit because you don't support anything I do. But here's me, this is my property, this is my education. Here's the result, I have a thesis, it's a dissertation. It's a lot of fucking work. Just because I did it real fast doesn't mean it's not important. Doesn't mean I'm not doing all of this work. And at being 30 years old and struggling again, truly struggling, over $3,000 a month. When people are contractually owed me $12 million. Again, just bona fide, that is what is owed because of public contracts. You solve this problem, you get this money. My solutions have been posted for well over 7 years, and the requirement is 2 years. And they won't let me talk amongst groups on, oh, I can't get on a podcast, I can't go talk to people about math. And again, it's not like people do a dissertation, and the difference between like an average PhD and Einstein's papers are a tremendous cultural difference. The difference between a PhD and my research is a tremendous cultural difference. And so, to have people that absolutely know what's going on come up to me and genuinely be like, why are you worried about money? Because I have never had a livable wage. I literally live on poverty level income, under profound financial stress. I don't have constitutional rights. Somebody please find some way so I can have an economic opportunity. That is all I'm asking for. Not publication, not acknowledgement. Clearly that's never going to happen. Because you're never going to legalize cannabis and stop killing children. You're never going to tell the truth about science. You guys are going to continue to slaughter kids because you guys are liars, cheats, and thieves. That is all anybody is. And then they're so pathetic, the instant they get offended, the instant they get insulted. You can't even criticize people. Because they're going to say, Brad, is this Brad person somebody I should respect? He's got 700 YouTube subscribers and 3 video hits. Of course not. It doesn't change the facts. And then people will be like, the internet doesn't matter, views and clicks don't matter. But it's like it does. Popularity does matter. It really, really does. If people don't talk about you, then you can't get a job. So it does matter. But nobody cares about me. It's just facts. And I don't care. I just want financial stability. So we'll keep all the stories for the last. We'll do just the talking points, and I might talk about my new project. So for talking points, just this section is just whatever pops up in the news that I want to comment on or talk about that I find interesting. Obviously, watch a lot of movies. We'll be doing another movie review after I film this episode of Language Litigation Integration. But the Parasite actor Lee Sung-kyun found dead amid investigation over drug allegations. Had 3 rounds of police questioning for suspicion of marijuana and other drug usage. So Parasite was a big cultural independent film that I have not seen. I think it's Korean. But I will see that. It was on one of the free sites. I just didn't click on it. Haven't watched it. But seeing this amazing, like, again, they didn't say, I don't know if it's suicide, what exactly happened. I really look into it more. But just seeing it after police questioning over allegations of drug use of cannabis. Again, drug is a word, cannabis is a word. Plants that have biological function are medicine. And so it's amazing. When this stuff changes and people see that these lectures, this is a proof, this isn't a lecture, this is a fundamental fact about the world around you. If you drop a pen, it's going to fall down. Cannabinoids are the strongest antioxidants in the game. And so we'll never really accept science because of stigmas. It's just so weird to people be like, look back at the Nazi propaganda in the World War II, and this is how to not fall for it. And they'll be like, don't legalize cannabis, it's bad. It's like, what? And then they'll take one step further, people will be like, okay, it's not that bad, people can make a choice. That is not acceptable. It is medicine, prescribe it. Not prescribing it kills children. I don't care about the death. On a personal level, I don't give a fuck. If people don't know how to behave and they die off, good riddance. I don't care at all. But in general, that would be the step to take. But you guys don't know how to behave. And so, be like, don't be fat. Calling people fat to me, it's like, if you don't control your behavior, you're demonstrably insecure. You're demonstrably underdeveloped. And believe it or not, eating is a type of behavior. So, but blame the scapegoat and say nothing. But again, right, because the Asian families, right, they're all about tradition and respecting your elders and education, being productive members of society, right? Be more productive than me. Don't steal my math. Don't steal my educational content. Don't steal my property. Oh, that's right, you're just hypocrites too. Maine blocks Trump from appearing on the presidential ballot. Supreme Court to rule on legality. And I guess it's just something about the 14th Amendment. I didn't look it up exactly. I haven't read. Whenever I read the Constitution aloud on this series is the last time I looked it up. But we'll see what it says. I think it just bars people from public office that have participated in insurrection. It says, 14th Amendment, no state shall pass, blah, blah, blah. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So I guess my 14th Amendment rights are also violated because I've been deprived of life, liberty, and property without just crimes being committed by the government, nor denied to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So I guess I don't know. There was some somewhere in the Constitution saying if you've been involved in an insurrection or treason, you can't hold public office again. Obviously, for Trump being on or off the ballot. Again, not a fan of Trump. Don't dislike Trump. I know American politics are completely corrupted to the point of the citizenship. Right? I can't pay local news stations $100K to run a story that's completely legitimate. But my point is I have zero political affiliation because I have brain cells. Like I actually contribute to society in a lot more foundational way than saying go red, go blue, or being so literate that you don't know any of the elected officials you elect. You just pick your favorite color. But I still think, again, I don't think Donald Trump committed an insurrection. I really don't. I think the individuals that made the choice to go storm the Capitol committed insurrection. So, I do not think it's legal to remove Trump from the ballot. I do not. But again, with the only American right I want is the right to collect my property and leave this fucking disgusting country forever. House where 4 college students were murdered in Moscow, Idaho gets demolished. No, we can't see the scary places where our behavior didn't make any sense. We have to snuff it out of history so we don't have to remember the things we don't like. Whether it's Tiananmen Square in China, whether it's, I don't know, the civil wars in Kenya, or where's the other one? Somalia. We just act like that never happened. We're big kids, we don't know how to behave, so we just act like our shitty behaviors never happened. And then we never grow up. And then we just cuddle into our safe little life and say, we're great people, and project our insecurities and act like we have values. I'm gonna do all the stories at the end. As many of 10 patients dead from nurse injecting tap water instead of fentanyl at an Oregon hospital. It was a Santé Rouge Regional Medical Center, no charges, but police investigation underway. I believe in that article it said up to 10% of medical personnel divert drugs, steal drugs, put water in for something else. Again, that's all of our hardworking medical community. Yeah, right, they slog away through 8 years of medical school residency, matching, and being not a senior surgeon, and then, well, now that they have some right to take some stuff or to just steal some stuff because lie, cheat, and steal is basically that's the only value in this community. Or be so privileged you've never made a real decision in your life and then you just act like you have values and you don't. Literally every single person I've met behaves like that. 7.6 magnitude earthquake strikes Japan, causing evacuations due to tsunami. Creates waves of about 1 meter along Japan's west coast, affecting Ishikawa, Niigata, and Toyama. So I just like to, natural disasters, unfortunate as they are, they're always just interesting. Because Mother Earth doesn't give a fuck. Israel kills top Hamas commander with a missile strike in Beirut, Lebanon. Sailal al-Aruri could cause a response from Hezbollah. I don't know if there's been any further instigations there. Obviously, the Hamas-Israel war is raging on. Ukraine, Russia's raging on. But there was also some other, like Houthi, something else. There was another UK and US was bombing somebody else in Yemen this morning. So I don't know if that has any affiliations with the other groups.
At least 103 killed in blast near Soleimani's tomb in Iran. So that was another one where it was like, is this Israel, U.S., different groups? Seemed to be just some paramilitary in Iran, but I don't know. Hundreds of documents surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's associates have been released. Aaron Rodgers versus Jimmy Kimmel. Again, this is just documenting the privilege of Jimmy Kimmel. If you don't know who he is, he's a well-known late-night talk show host here in America. And Aaron Rodgers said something like, Aaron Rodgers is a football player, NFL, or retired, I don't know if he still plays. But Aaron Rodgers said something to the effect of Jimmy Kimmel's name's going to come out with the Epstein associate documents. And Jimmy says, if you want to, slander or defame my character anymore, we'll argue the facts in court. I'm over here literally begging to work full time without constitutional rights just to sustain life. But rich celebrities think they can just threatening court. If you're a somebody, then it matters. But if you're Brad, it never matters, because you say you're going to sue somebody, and then I literally don't have the money to go file a lawsuit. But even if I did file it, knowingly that if I file it, they'll just dismiss it illegally, which they've already literally done. And they've come to my fucking apartment directly, unsolicited, said we can do whatever we want. And I'm just like, okay, you can't beat them. Can I join you guys? Can you put me on some compound somewhere and just let me feel financially stable? That is all, again, I don't care what that looks like. Just some way to not have to worry about fucking bills, without constitutional rights, and without the ability to access a network, my money, or my credentials. I just want that abuse to stop. It has endangered my life, and it continues to endanger my life. But just amazing to see all these privileged people actually have a functioning society. They actually can access social structures. Oscar Pistorius released on parole 11 years after serving 11 years in South African jail for killing Reva Steenkamp, the girlfriend at the time. If you don't know him, he was a renowned Paralympian from 2012 because he was a double amputee. Iowa's Perry High School has a mass shooter. Shocker. 5 injured, 1 killed, a 6th grader. Shooter Dylan Butler, at no age was given. Principal Dan Marburger tried to distract shooters so students could flee. Willis Gibson, 13 male, believed to be the first person to beat Tetris with a Nintendo Entertainment System controller. Which I believe, because I don't know, technically, they keep putting, I don't know intimately Tetris, I know of it, like when they say beat Tetris, I guess it just causes the game to process too fast or something, and it just stops moving all the blocks. So I think somebody else did it recently, another young kid or person, but I think there's been 2 or something now. But that was pretty cool, obviously a well-known game. 60 to 100 police car deployed in Bayside, Miami. Teen fight or creatures 8 to 10 foot tall, described as solid shadows without certain extremities, shape-shifting and big legs. You get to that at the end, no real opinion on that. Snoop Dogg hired as an Olympic reporter. Again, if you rap about being a gangster, being a thug, maybe some murder, maybe some weed, and then you get famous. Again, the only thing that matters in life is popularity, is to get famous. Once you have a career that people respect, even if they hate you, even if you have haters all over the place, if you have some money or some influence, that is what matters. Right, wrong, and different, that is what matters to get out of abuse. Because if one person, hundreds of thousands of people completely aware of my work, one person did the right thing one time, my life would change permanently and forever. And that one person does not exist. But yeah, just be privileged, be Snoop Dogg, get to be able to talk about Olympic reporting. It's like, I watch the news, I watch all of these different things. You guys are not educated. Why can't I be a newscaster? Jennifer Bullock, why can't I be a newscaster? I'm more educated on history, language, math, science, current events than you. I'm a better presenter than you. I have a better presence than you. So again, I have all of these skills. Why is that a point where it's I want your job. I just want anybody's job where I can do it better. Why do they get an opportunity? I've worked for opportunities literally for a decade. This isn't, I hope to do this in the future. This is something, here's my property, where's my money? Here are my skill sets, where's my employment? Where's my opportunity? But America, there's no opportunities here. None. Zero. Absolutely none. Judge gets assaulted while delivering sentence. So in Nevada, Clark County, the defendant, Deborah Redden, 30-year-old male, jumped at Judge Mary K. Holthus. Let's be honest there, the reason he is so mad and has so many problems is because his name is Deborah, and he is a man. So, that is probably the root of his problems. But Yeah, cool stuff. Why can't I be a judge? Right, a federal judge just has to get appointed. Like you don't have to go to law school or anything. And again, at 10 years of restricting me from going to school, I would have went to and graduated medical school. I would have went to and graduated law school. Again, there was not a single legal scholar that's contributed more to law than me. No, not just surpassing the United States Constitution, like literally. Cool stuff. Alaskan Airlines flight has to make an emergency landing after window is blown out. Child loses a shirt. 171 passengers from Portland to Ontario, California. There was I think there's maybe some very minor injuries, no real injuries reported. But that's good. There's some technician that has a job that didn't tighten the bolts on an airplane. That person has a job, awesome. Why can't I have his job? I will relocate anywhere. My dream of all of the things I do is to be a tenured professor at some school, hopefully my own institution, in a country that isn't America, in some countryside that's a walkable city or something that's just nice, peaceful, and functional. But I will never get out. It is the right of the Central Ohio, everybody to abuse me. It's just what has occurred my entire life, and people have done it so collectively, they literally there's not a single individual that feels responsible for it. And they'll say that I'm having a mental issue or something, and then you start coming at you like, what's wrong with you, dude? What's wrong with you, bro? Here's my rights, here's my property, here's what I want with my life. It is illegal to not let me have it. Okay, I give up on that. Can I have some sort of employment? Nope. We called Brad Smart behind his back. We look at all of his work. On a personal level, it feels like I have done nothing. That's not how being a human being works. I have to be able to socialize to form identity. I have no sense of self whatsoever past my physical awareness. None. Zero. When I see Bradley Boas on a piece of paper, I cringe, literally. I hate myself in the least emotional way possible. If I was just not me, I wouldn't be tortured my entire life. Literally. For being nothing else, it has nothing to do with my intellectual capacity. It has everything to do with being more mature around people that have never grown up and they have authority over me. Good thing we played sports all day, played games all day. That was literally my hometown community, is all they ever did. Play games and compete over nothing and think about nothing besides your next orgasm. Lauren Boebert assaults ex-husband in restaurant. Why does that get to be an elected official? Why does this bimbo-ass cunt get to fucking do anything with law whatso-fucking-ever? Oh, that's right, it's about games. As long as the office exists, it doesn't matter if it's Lauren Boebert or Bernie Sanders or whoever. It just matters that there's an office, there's a winner out there. And everybody else agrees with that, playing the game all day of we have to compete over something. We need a fucking society that functions, and it doesn't because you guys are fucking idiots. And yep, these are the people. See, the people that demonstrate violent behavior, those are the people that have the tendency for violence. Not somebody that's a grown-ass man criticizing somebody in a fucking legal lecture series documenting crime, literally. But I will get blamed for everything. Golden Globes, Joe Coy gets booed. I have question mark, because I watched the opening monologue and I never really seen anyone booing him. And now everyone's talking about how cringe and how bad it was. Like, even going off just like the tension in the room, it didn't seem to flop too bad. And as always, again, I'm getting harassed, again, still 15, 20 times a day. I've told these people that it is illegal to harass me, to stop calling me, to take me off their calling list. And I get harassed about, getting some Medicare or something. Are you 65 plus? No, I'm not. Please stop harassing me. 15, 20 times a day, nobody cares. There's no way out of this. Well, if I had money, I could change my phone number. But I don't, so I can't do anything. The only thing, they'll say money doesn't matter. Money is the only thing that matters. I'm talking, if you've never literally lived on poverty level income, literally, then you don't know what the fuck money really does. Going $45,000 of stable income would change my life for fucking ever. And it's not like an expensive salary or anything. That is just insane. I am being tortured. People are stealing my property right now, this minute. Right now, this minute, someone's watching a lecture. Somebody is watching some piece of property that I put on the internet completely illegally without paying me. And then they turn around and then they just go hypocrite mode and they just go act like there's some fucking society out there. All the news people talking about, it's the law, we're all bound to the Constitution. There are no rules, there are no laws, it is just whatever gang member, whatever group of people are in charge, that is what is going to occur. Michigan University wins the college football championship. Play games all day, just play games all day. Play games all day so you guys can have fun with your friends. But I just want to play. Put me in, coach. I want to play the game of life. I want to be able to be treated like a human being with decency and respect, too. What's wrong with you, Brad? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you guys? You guys are torturing another human being. It's completely illegal. You guys don't care at all. and you think when I have influence, I'm not gonna fucking punish you? It's coming, motherfucker. It's fucking coming. So now for today's stories. The retard at Meijer yanking a cart. And so I go into Meijer. Again, obviously I'm very politically correct with all of my language. But I go into Meijer, again, my life is destroyed. Like, the only thought through my head the entire day is, how the fuck do I stop getting abused? And the answer is, it doesn't exist. And backed with extreme financial pressure, it's just the headspace that I have been in my entire life is just like, what the fuck is going on? And so I'm surrounded, I'm being tortured, nobody gives a fuck. I've been abused with active new occurrences every 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, small, medium, and large, all without cessation my entire life. And it can't stop fucking happening. So, like I said, literally to the day I've been full-time employed for 2 months now. Like I said, I'm not getting the hours I need, and all I need is some stable income. And I'm happy to work 40, 50 hours a week. I shouldn't have to work any. This is work too. Doing mathematics at night is still work. Okay, but again, that's the part of the scapegoat and being never forming identity. And I feel like I owe it to people. Then on top of that, if I try to talk about it, the only responses that I've gotten is that I'm threatening and like literally police swatting me. And so it's like, holy fuck, I'm just trying to be happy about my discovery. But I'm not allowed to. Everybody else is allowed to live their life. I am not allowed to be me because you do not know how to be you. But again, it is the scapegoat's social role to accept all abuse. So obviously Christmas passed, my brother texted me, "Merry Christmas, homie," to which I responded, "I wish I was dead, because I wish I was dead. 0% suicidal, 0% threatening. My life is fucking nothing." Like, this is profound fucking torture. And it's all day, every day, and there is no end to it. And so he responds, "Well, I'm glad you're not." Why, man? We don't fucking talk. We're not fucking close. Every time you and mom and dad open your mouth, mom and dad, the only thing they say to me is, "Don't spend money, don't spend money." "Oh, mom and dad, can you help me network?" Out of all the people in St. Paul group that dad helps with basketball, not one of those people can find me a financial opportunity in terms of employment. Not one. But like my mom said, who would even want to help you? How disgusting it is to feel and hear that from your own mother. And hear my mom's voice, just literally, like, seeing any contact from on my phone from anybody, just makes me like, the only thing this is going to be is abuse. Extreme denigration or straight up endangering my life. That is what it's going to be when someone's contacting me on my cell phone. And so, and then you again deal with my mother, my brother, and my father, who I've been around my whole life. My intellectual capacity has never changed. My derivation rate has been the same the entire time. The only thing that's changed is the gossip behind my back, like literally. And so it's like, why? I'm glad you're not. Why? Who cares, man? Like, I'm not living a day of my life. Nobody will help me. I'm glad, Brian. I hope if you're watching, I'm sure you're not. But if you are, I'm glad you get to, again, travel around the country and go snowboarding whenever you want. I can't fucking eat food properly, man. And then it's like, the Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. My life is fucked. I'm never merry. It's never a happy. It's never a good day. It is the same abuse every fucking day. But they're not mature enough, and they never will be. The entire society is so fucking stagnated. It's fucking unacceptable. But they can't change. People would have to respect me personally. That's never going to occur. Ever. I was talking about the retard at Meijer. So the dude literally has Down syndrome or is on the spectrum. Again, I'm on the other end of the intelligence spectrum, and I can't process insecurity in the same way underdeveloped or emotionally they're retards. Fuck, I don't know. Polite, mentally challenged people can't do higher functionings. I can't do lower functioning. I can't process insecurity. Like, I literally physically can't. If you put me in a group, it is noticeable. The people I grew up with absolutely noticed. I told you the story of my old friend, Brendan O'Connell, being like, you can't, he literally like, kind of like chuckling, like, you literally don't get it. Like, I literally do not process insecurity. And so, I'm just literally walking into Meijer. Again, these events happen all the time, constantly. All of the time, constantly. And that each, like the dude at Meijer doesn't know how abused I've been by my family. The people in my professional life don't know I've been abused by my teachers and my family and my friends and their parents and everybody else too. And so it's just so insane that shit is still happening constantly, fucking constantly. So I walk into Meijer, I literally go to get a trolley cart. You know how they're all stacked in these big rows, you just kind of have to yank one out. I'm literally going to yank one out, and I pull out two, and this dude who's mentally challenged, a fucking retard, runs over and just like slams his hands on the cart and yanks the other one, like, give me this one. And again, I'm just dumbfounded, like, what the fuck just occurred? Because again, it's the most normal shit ever. They're just trying to get my cart out, and two came out, and he didn't give me 1 second to take the other one off. And somehow he's like super offended that I accidentally took 2 carts or something. And so then he's just like, he like kind of like runs at me and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I just got frustrated. Learn to control your behavior. I'm being tortured and I can't even raise my fucking voice without being called a threat. You're fucking retarded. Mature. Grow up. Grow up. Everybody, just grow the fuck up. They can't. They literally fucking can't. This world is so fucking broken. But we'll get to I'll do all the Omi TV stories, so just like that. It's just a random chat website where sometimes you get interesting conversations, so I think it's fun to do. I do that quite a bit after work. But shout out to Robert Brath on LinkedIn for removing me as a connection. Another fucking dork. So this is this like 65-year-old fat fuck. He's always posting like, hey dudes, if you need a courtesy review of your resume, I'm happy to get you the job and interview you want. And so I see this dude view my profile and I'm thinking like, hopefully he's gonna like help me. But again, no one will ever help me. That is the awareness. Nobody will ever help me. I am the scapegoat. I have been kicked out of social functioning for real. I have been tortured literally since childhood. And then I say those words and people are like, oh well, or they just completely deny it. But everybody that knows me to any personal level absolutely knows it's completely fucking true. Because everybody's demonstrated the behavior to some level. They just don't feel responsibility for it and it just keeps repeating. But absolutely to the world, find everybody referenced in these legal series, find them and fuck them. Find them and fuck their lives the same way they fucked me. Karma's a bitch. What you have done to me, I'm going to do to you. Each passing day, it's going to get fucking worse. Guaranteed. Because if committed crimes, doesn't matter if it's 100 fucking million people. Everybody aware of my work suppressing science is committing treason. Fact. More extortion. I have a credit card balance of about $2,000 without a fucking credit card. How? I just get an email from Credit Karma. You're using most of your credit card balance. I have never opened a credit card ever in my life. Ever in my fucking life have I ever had a credit card. I don't have a credit card now. I've never made a credit card transaction. So every fucking day something pops up. Money, pay us money. Sales tax, transactional tax, it's property tax, pay us money. I would straight up not pay my property taxes, but there's no practical way to do so. I would have in any fucking world where this is actually the United States of America, where the country was literally built on no taxation, without representation, I would be able to have a, civil disobedience would be the legal terminology. I'd be able to I could say I don't have constitutional rights. I don't pay property taxes. That is the right thing to do. That's the legal obligated thing to do. In practice, there's gonna be some fuck at the county court office be like, this person didn't pay, fuck him. And there's no way to have any morality, decency, values, or someone just to listen to my story. People won't just shut the fuck up and listen. Part 209 of me getting tortured, documenting it. This has been happening my whole life. But then I call them, I go through this long thing. This dude, I talked to the USAA dude who was again incompetent and he kind of gets like frustrated with me because he's not explaining things properly. They project their insecurities onto me and blame me for them. You do not know how to use language as precise as I do. It is provably not possible. But you're going to get offended, you're going to say, do I respect this person? And then you're going to assert any authority over me you can. Hundreds of thousands of independent experiences, and it can't stop occurring. But I think that one somehow is just still tied to my, like, I guess I'm a certified, I somehow have access, like I'm a approved account user of like my parents' USAA or something. So the guy seemed to say that it was must be linked to that account. I just can't reach out to my parents about money. And again, if you're out there and have any supportive family, and I'm talking about people that will help you network. My parents absolutely in breach of contract. I sold them my property with a certified loan, or with a secured loan with certified property for a loan amount. And then they said, fuck our kid. And then I'm like, okay. Can you help me find a job? No. I spent 15 years of my life telling my parents I was not learning anything at school and that I should be doing something to start a career. They said, no, focus on sports and play games all day. And then in a blink of an eye, their community decided that selling weed, which again, if I did not find a way to consume cannabis, I would be dead because I couldn't fall asleep after Megan McCabe treated me fucking like a dirty fucking animal. I didn't sleep for 72 hours. And a lot of people say I haven't slept for 48, 72 hours. If you've really not slept for 72 hours, it is an imminent thought. If I cannot fucking fall asleep, I am going to fucking die. And so if I cannot, and again, this pressure that is just in your head because of social abuse, being a scapegoat is a real state of mind, or like a real physical reaction. And so, without cannabis, I would personally be fucking dead, literally. And so, what was I saying? I forget what I was saying about that. But that was the big selling cannabis, was the big reputation destroyer. Oh, Brad went from being pre-med to being a fucking physicist, as if that's a step down in intellectual fucking curiosity or rigor. Yeah, theoretical physics is easier than fucking medicine. Once you have a body, you can sit there and look at the organs. You can look at the liver, you can look at the pancreas, you can look at the stomach. You can't prove words from first principles easily, believe it or not. You can't discover a fundamental geometric proof that could have been proven by any civilization at any point in human history. And be like, oh yeah, I did that shit in fucking an hour. I think it's a little step up in intellectual rigor than being a fucking medical doctor, which I would also be if I was allowed to go to school and access licensures. Because there's not a single other person out there where education is so intimately involved in their identity or their person. And again, you've taken away any step that I could form identity. I've never formed identity. There's never been a point in life where I'm like, again, literally since age 12, age 8, 7 to 8, when you start forming memories, to age 12 was like, okay, maybe, clearly my parents are going to help me, maybe my teachers, well, they're clearly not going to help me. And once you get kind of like into the high school, certainly into college, it's just like there was nobody out there. There was nobody out there to do the right thing. But again, here's me focusing on school, and since then I've done nothing besides develop a ton of property that is being fraudulently restricted and fraudulently devalued, to the point where it's endangering my life and I live at a poverty-level income, literally. Nobody cares. But, oh yeah, and I am officially suing my patent lawyer, Roger Jackson Esquire. I believe he's still based in Colorado, I'm not sure, because he just sent me this lovely, thoughtful email. It says, Dear Brad, just a reminder that the above fee is due from January 10th, 2024 to July 10th, 2024, and with surcharge from July 11th, 2024 to January 10th, 2025, if not paid by January 10, 2025, the patent will expire. Another awfully fucking long sentence, horribly imprecise. I assume, as before, you are going to pay this yourself, so this is just a courtesy reminder for me, as I will not take any action to pay this myself. Thanks. In what universe would I have any expectation for a patent lawyer that I use on a paid one-time thing to have any payment on this? But that's not why I'm suing him. It's just the way he wrote that email, just like, I'm not going to do anything to help you with your property. Again, I get you don't know what's going behind, but it's not my problem. I put it all publicly, and people don't want to fucking take time to look at what the fuck my fucked up life has turned into. And I can't do anything for you. But, oh yeah, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you. Every time I hear, no, Brad, no, Brad, no, Brad, right? It only takes one yes. Well, I've never gotten a yes ever from anything. Never had a girlfriend, never had a friend, never been respected by my parents, never had them listen when they said I wasn't learning anything at school, never had them listen when I said I don't like playing sports all day, never listened when I told them 50, 60, 70 different fucking people from these government agencies have approached me unsolicited to try to like pat me on the back like, hey man, we know you're out there. It doesn't fucking help, it just pisses me the fuck off. And so, which to his lovely email I responded, I just quoted I will not take any action to pay this myself, thanks. I said, thanks for the update, Roger. You're being sued for incompetence. You did not inform me of file continuation and accepted a fraudulent description of my patent. No need to contact me anymore. My business with you has been terrible. Fuck you, and your license and business is done as soon as possible. Fuck you. Because it is. And that's the real legal thing here with him. It's not just a edgy email that I didn't like. Just he literally didn't advise me properly on patent continuation. That's why I only have cannabinoid enriched alcohol in the United States, as opposed to in the participating countries as well. And so first of all, not allowing me to get properly describe my patent. And again, I told you the whole story of my patent lawyer and the patent office having a conversation. Was like, you have to word it this way. It's like, you guys literally insert your wrong words into my property in the most literal sense possible, and then fuck up my business. And then the government agencies won't approve a product of literally provable healthier alcohol, because, well, nothing makes any fucking sense. And we don't, and the most important thing is we never change. It's not the problem to not know how to do something, it is the problem to refuse to change that behavior. And we are at the point where refusing to change our behavior is so sensorial, is so poignant, it just won't fucking stop. Because your identities are so fragile, and you guys are in groups so big. But the thing is, he didn't properly advise me on On the continuation, Andy accepted, again, miswording of physical property, which is completely illegal, especially in relation to me personally. But then he sent me another email right after, before I said my lovely response. He said, "Dear Brad, oops, I just noticed that was already paid. You are Johnny on the spot on that one." What a weird fucking dude. But yes, again, I leased my patent to my own company, which I own half of, for a whopping $10,000 a year stipend. Remember, I told you last time, that was the one where it's like, guaranteed for 5 years if we don't receive a product. The reason we're not receiving a product is because ongoing crime. My partner's a lawyer, so we're supposed to be suing people on that already, but we won't because we don't respect Brad, and fuck me, because no one respects me as a professional adult, as always. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. And yeah, and then it says at the end of the contract, not to exceed $10,000 a year. The first person that gives me financial stability will receive $100 million upon publication if that ever occurs from my estate, whenever that happens. At some point, it will get published. But in my lifetime, I seriously fucking doubt it. I seriously fucking doubt it. This society is so fucking broken. I have watched hundreds of family, thousands of independent people all demonstrate the same behavior and see nothing wrong with it. And so, again, if my own business partners who I've dealt with for years, if you just said, "Hey man, here's $30,000 a year guaranteed," you would receive $100 million guaranteed. But you don't respect me, you think I'm a joke, you think that's a lie. 70 people have approached me in person about this stuff. It's because of the engineering laws that have been going on for 80 years that I can't publish anything. How about a music performance PhD? Why can't I be a musician? I can clearly sing, I can clearly play the guitar, I can clearly play the piano. Nope. Spend years developing skills and never get one fucking opportunity. Put the blanket over the kid's head, pull it off, act like isn't it there. That goes on for 2 years, and people actually start acting like you're not there. And it's nobody's job. So that's a new lawsuit for today. And I might already reference suing him, but definitely suing him, so fuck him. But now to the OM TV stories. Again, just I like chatting, I think it's fun. But again, I'm not doing an accent. I had somebody on there says, "You can stop doing an accent, it's creeping me out." And then also reference to "you speak like them." And I just have "language is a vibe." Language is literally composed of vibrations. And so when I say, again, comparatively, the discrepancy of creative output is how I gauge my intelligence compared to other people. And so, again, analytics, the geometric proof, that's all what I'd say, the 1,000-ish points on the fun IQ scales. But then just interacting with people, just my presence versus your presence is what I consider emotional intelligence, reading the room. And so, again, I'm not really sure what telepathy is, but it's kind of fucking real. And so I definitely got some good feedback that I can kind of do that shit. And so again, that's not mind reading, but it's just you can kind of like influence, like anyone's presence influences how other people think. But once you become aware of like my presence, just so like I can literally predict anyone's language because I have so many theorems, word like with 100% accuracy, literally. And so once you start doing that, then it changes their language. Then you can subsequently predict what they're going to say after that. And so that's kind of what it's not really. And I hate the word telepathy, but again, language is a vibe. You are on the same wavelength. And so like when I talked to you about a guy yesterday, he's like, we were having a conversation in Spanish, and he's like, wait a second, I have to like stop and let me realize these things because people really haven't had. Like, so there was a distinct moment in my life, like again right around the December 2016-ish time frame. It was just like it went from like a normal student. I still had to learn everything before I started driving everything and proving all of this stuff. But there was a time like in high school I would have to study and I would get like my like not like a headache like I'm sick, but like a headache like I've used my brain a lot today. But as of like December 16th, 17, 2016, it like switched where it was like there was just no limit to like I don't get mentally fatigued. I don't get tired of learning, researching, proving these things. It is natural and just flows out of me. And so I'm not doing an accent on there. I'm literally just responding to the tonality. And again, everyone has different influences, right? Even if you don't speak Spanish, you've heard not a lot of Spanish. If you're from America, you've probably heard a lot of Spanish. Or if you worked in a restaurant industry, you heard a lot of different languages. So everyone has these different exposures to languages where they don't semantically know, and then they articulate sounds, and I can instantly pick up on all the nuances, and I start repeating that to them. And so it's not like I'm not trying to do an accent, even when I'm talking in other. I guess technically it is an accent, but it's not like I'm just responding to the vibrations that come into me. like literally. And so, but in the way that he said it is like, stop doing an accent, like trying to sound like different cultures. It's like I'm just mimicking them. I'm just like getting trained in my vocal cords. So it's not like I'm not trying to like pull fast one over you. It's just kind of fun to do different sounds. Because technically it is an accent, but it's like the way in the conversation. I just wrote that down because it's not like I'm not trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. I guess I don't know. But I had another person say he noticed we were speaking another language, and then they said they were speaking Romanian, but it actually sounded like a lot of different species have vibration, like frequencies that are much higher than us. Like dogs here had a higher frequency, right? So we have a visual spectrum and a hearing spectrum, and which both, a lot of different species would be a lot of different ends on both of them, being better at hearing, better at smelling, worse at seeing, blah, blah, blah. And so when they said we were speaking another language, it kind of, the accents, okay, so that's where I was going with accents, is accents really define a language, right? We all have the same available sound structures, right? The English language doesn't use all of the phonetic sounds that the Russian language does, but there's a set number, I don't know, what was it, 26 unique sounds or something, whatever it is. And so the way you accent or order those letters into syllables produces a language. The way you enunciate that or pronounce those words produces an accent. And so then you go to a different language and you still have your vocal cords trained on whatever your mother tongue is or just whatever language you developed. The accent comes from your underdevelopedness of pronouncing other sounds from other languages. And so that's kind of what I mean by I'm not doing an accent. I'm literally just developing my vocal cords to the point where I pronounce correctly. But a couple more. So I had another one on there. Again, some very intelligent Russians, Ukrainians, Israelis, and Palestinians, where they get on there that the first thing out of their mouth is like Israel, Palestine. It's like I've already said as much as I could on that. And then I had one dude. I was like, I just don't know enough. And then he's like, and I was like, what about the indiscriminate killing of some of the children in Gaza? And to which he gets really mad. He's like, how you just don't know anything? You're stupid. It's like, when I say I don't know anything, I mean I don't know the extended history of who did what over the past 150 fucking years. Not what's going on today, you goofballs. But it's just more broader than that. It's just the inability to sit down and have a real conversation. And on top of that, they're genuinely incompetent. They're just going to resort to primitive behavior. They're going to form around their insecurities. They're going to pick the bad guy with a lot of genuine shitty actions going on as well, particularly to Israel and Gaza, where Ukraine getting invaded by Russia was a little more direct on Vladimir Putin's end, as opposed to a more convoluted conflict in the Middle East. But it's just the broader behavior of the incapacity to have a meaningful conversation and to acknowledge anything had been done wrong. It's like, and so, again, I didn't write it down specifically, but he had some point, because like when the Israeli dude was describing Israel, he was like, well, Hamas attacked us on the October 6th or whatever, so, we go in there and we have to do what we have to do. And he literally goes like, this part means we're going to go kill a bunch of people. Which again, if they deserve it, they deserve it. So it's just like, don't be afraid to speak the real realities of the world around you, for fuck's sake. But then I'm like, well, what about, and he was like, because then even like criticizing any response about killing Gaza civilians. And then he's like, well, he attacked our people, it was all of us. So, it's our people. It's like, there was a lot of people at that the fucking concert. There's a lot of different nationalities at a concert in Israel. It wasn't just straight up Israelis. And so it's just like, people just like have no ability. Besides any one conflict or any one decision about a conflict, it's the inability for people to sit down and make meaningful, insightful decisions. And have the value structure and have the discipline to back it up. But then I had another one. So again, when I say I don't have access to social structures, like I do have health insurance, but I still can't afford a fucking copay of $50 to $100 comfortably. And so it's like I'm still not going to go to the hospital unless I feel something like extremely wrong. And I genuinely don't feel like anything's wrong besides my fucking back. That's still healthcare that I can't access. But one of these person goes on there and like, he was like, you're free. And he's like, your eyes look good, your body systems are functioning well. So the people of the future, people today, right now, they can go into the doctor and the doctor will evaluate them and they will tell them their results. And now imagine if they didn't tell them their results and they just held it back. How much anxiety would that cause you? How many of you have gone out there for a cancer screening or from some sort of doctor visit and then had some sort of anxiety about waiting to hear what they said back. So now, I don't get a choice. People literally just observe my health functioning, and they won't give me meaningful data. They won't let me access healthcare. It is more torture. It just keeps piling on, and nobody feels responsibility for it. How fucking insane is that? So that people are monitoring my fucking health, telling me that, but not letting me access my own fucking health data. Then coming at me like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What world was I born into? Oh, that's right, a world of people biologically older than me, less mature than me, that don't know how to behave. That's it. That's the whole explanation. I've been saying the same thing legitimately for fucking 25 fucking years, literally. Provably, literally, demonstrably, facts. But yeah, that's about it. The German cunt. There was a German cunt. So I started talking to this German dude, and he's like, the weirdest thing about underdeveloped people, again, the age range of 18 to 25 is so fucking intolerable. And I say this as someone who, again, provably was so fucking intolerable when I was 15 or 18 to 25 as well. And so it's just this level of invincibility, of self-assuredness, of arrogance, and of being an absolute fucking bitch all at the same fucking time. And so I'm talking to this German dude. I think I know like a couple phrases in German, but again, my understanding of language is so much more intimate than when tons of people speak German, tons of people speak Chinese, tons of people speak English. Not a single one of them does fundamental derivation. And every language, every sound structure that I'm exposed to, I have already demonstrated fundamental derivation in. And so nobody else is going to start doing what I'm doing. It's not possible. And so again, learning one individual language is not the interest of language to me. I do know a bunch. Again, I would say I speak fluently in 35, but I would speak. It gets to a technical question of, how exactly are you describing language? I would say I speak. I've been phonetically trained in at least 35. I can literally articulate any sound. So I would say I can speak any language. I don't know every language, but intimately I would say I know. Certainly Spanish, French. Again, I would even say it's so bad. But it's just the like Portuguese. Just the prepositions throw me off a little bit because they're slightly different, but the verbs and nouns are completely similar to Spanish structure. But I'm interacting with people in a genuine conversational style, and it's very easy to context defines variable, which I proved literally myself, and so I can get through conversations. And in reading, I'm very, very good at. Listening, I'm pretty good at. I can hear every sound differentiate itself. It's just the semantic meanings of some of the languages I don't know. And it doesn't matter. It makes no fucking difference. That's when you can just plug it into Google, translate it, it does something different. But anyway, with the German dude, he starts his English is better than my German, and so we're just having a conversation in English, and then he's like talking, and then just without anything, he just assumes that he knows more about language than me. It's like, there is nobody that functions in language more prolifically than me. Nobody. That's the anomalistic part of my life. And then he gets mad because he starts saying that English is a Germanic language, and to which he doesn't even allow me to get my point out. Again, to this point, it's just a normal conversation. But you tell an insecure person they're wrong about something, and it's like an emotional breakdown. And when it comes from me personally, with nobody respecting me, it's just like this weird identity crisis. And he's just he's trying to lecture me on how English is a Germanic language. To which my overall point is describing languages by their historical etymologies isn't that useful to me. By that useful, I mean it really isn't. It feels like a pissing contest. It's like, how many colors does a Crayola color box have? The rainbow has 7 colors, but the box of 94 Crayola colors, we have all of these different names for different colors. It's like differentiating language with 1,000 different types, and the Uralic and the Germanic and the whatever. It means nothing to me as a linguist, as a scholar of language. So that was my point, but he didn't let me get it out, and then it's just this behavior I can't follow. I just start going off on this fucking dude, and I'm just like, dude, you can skip. And I'm not going off on but I'm just fuck you. Because again, seeing that behavior, this random dude on Ohm TV doesn't know my life story, so assuming he's not one of these, one of the government or the academics or who the fuck ever that actually know who I am. It's just seeing this behavior And I see this behavior constantly, and it has ruined my life. And we're generally a stagnant society completely. It's just like, when the fuck does it stop? And the answer is never, because nobody will change their behavior. People I grew up will never acknowledge fucking truth. They will never acknowledge what they've fucking done. Personally destroyed my life, and more importantly, literally played games all day to the point where they restricted the progress of science by 20 fucking years. I can't sign up that I was born. I didn't choose to be alive. I didn't. But because you guys don't know how to behave, you stagnated the progress of science for 20 years, personally, literally. St. Paul, St. Francis de Sales community. So you guys will never take responsibilities for your actions because you can't. Go play games all day. Oh, now go have a career and try to be serious. Oh, now you have kids. And when did you learn? When did you sit down and really educate yourself? Well, that's right, you didn't. So, another good day. And again, if any of this confuses you, I'm sure nobody will make it to this part of the video. But all I'm asking for is some way to feel financial stability. I do not care what that looks like. But without it, my life is fucking destroyed. It just is, as it's always been. But again, like when you're 8 to 12 years old, the first big thing is girls. It's like, okay, maybe I can get a girlfriend. Getting a girlfriend, the answer to me on dating is just no. And as a grown ass man, I don't even give a fuck anymore, man. Like I absolutely want a wife, but in terms of like getting out there dating, how? I've been on all the social media dating apps, and for the past 2 years, I've just like given up. Like I don't even. Again, it's solving my financial problems as opposed to dating, because again, I couldn't take a girl out, I couldn't afford no chance I could afford a family or anything. And so money is the problem that I have to solve. And I'm talking about going from poverty just to a stable income at some moderate level. $45,000 a year plus with some sort of stability, maybe even a little bonus, maybe a $2,500 bonus once a year or something would change my life permanently and forever. But that is it for the talking points and for the stories. But what was the Miami thing that I kind of skipped over? The 60 to 100 police cars. It did look like a ton of police cars just for a fight. And then their claimed video of some of these beings. Again, I've seen an 8 foot to tall one, but it was more glowing. I would have said it could have been like a shadowy thing, but it just poof at the side of your eye. You look at it, see it directly in its eyes, and it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of chilling there. But the thing I had is white. It was more white. So I don't know if this is a different species. I've not interacted with this one. I'm not even convinced these are aliens. But this whole scenario was just confusing to me, because there would have been a video of kids fighting. I mean, that would have been published everywhere. Wasn't much major news coverage, but the mainstream media is so corrupted. Again, not directly like the newscasters are sitting around like, let's lie about everything. They're trying to protect their jobs. They want to talk about things that are against social stigma, and they have bosses. And so, and it might have been on mainstream TV. I didn't see it though. But this scenario is just strange to me all around. The size and makeup, if they were, because I saw there was a couple dudes talking about it on Twitter, and a couple of them saying they were sketch artists. One of them said it was like a joke after. And it's like, I just don't know, because again, a lot of the same times it could be genuinely just a skit. It could be genuinely just exaggerated. People can be threatened. Things do get swapped, or like memory cards get swiped or taken down. A lot of the species help restrict the acknowledgement of themselves. So was this a legitimate alien thing, or was this just normal human stuff? I literally have no idea. But they said they had big legs and they were shape-shifting. I've personally seen shape-shifting in several different species. Again, I don't want to say several, but certainly was someone walking bipedal on 2 foot in the dog park, literally into like a dog. I literally saw that with my own eyes, and I've literally seen like a tall white glowing thing. It was kind of like shadowy, but it was definitely white as opposed to like solid and dark. But so I really again, I'm so done trying to speculate on this shit. I mean, there's known bona fide data by the human species that I'm not allowed to, which is hilarious. It is my discovery. History will not look kindly on any of you fucking freak shows. And I'm talking any individual from any species. If you're on this fucking planet disrespecting my fucking scientific research that affects the entire species, you're not a friend. And if you're on my planet doing it, well, to the humans in the future, when you find out the species doing this shit, go to their fucking planets and fuck with them. Fuck them. Anybody that's stopped the progress of science is a fucking enemy of mine and of this fucking planet. The end. Period. And so not really sure what to make of the Bayside Miami incident. Could have been, absolutely could have been. Could have just been, not to say mass hysteria, but just panic after some human event. But I definitely, on that one, I definitely think there would be some body cam footage of the, because people are always like, where's the body cam footage of the aliens or the video of the aliens? It's like, again, they can blur them, humans can blur them. It is a huge, probably the biggest scientific suppression in human history. And the vast majority of the human populace is so underdeveloped and so illiterate that they instinctually deny anything besides selfishness. Well, there's probably no other life out there, it's just us. You guys are just so far back in scientific progress, it's embarrassing. But the actual Miami incident, I am not too sure. And so I'll probably do a separate video, but again, no one's going to be watching at this point of this one. But my new history project, I do want to keep, at least each year have some sort of project, like a major project to start or to continue with. And last year was reading the Bible, which again is just a history book. But this one I'm going to do I told you the story of the Around the World project we did in 7th or 8th grade, where I was so fucking nervous of standing in front of people and talking, and now being in other people's presence could not intimidate me. But where we just had to give a report on a country. And so I've been doing pretty much daily, just trying to learn world geography. I'm pretty good at it now, where I can get guess most countries, up to 95% accuracy of just countries around the world. So I figured, why not? I couldn't think of a better term than what was called in 7th grade. So I'll probably just do, I wanted to do better, get better editing skills, but again, that would require a higher budget, so I'm going to do the best I can. But just kind of do, talk about different countries, explore geography, culture, language, history, conflicts, economy, imports, exports, GDP, trade relations, major landmarks, / attractions, population numbers, and just anything else that would be interesting about just basically doing a school report on different countries. I'll just find some random generator on the internet and just pick random countries until I get through all, 195 currently, UN recognized countries plus Palestine and the Holy See, spelled S-E-E, which I don't even know where that is. That's somewhere in Italy, I'm guessing. Somewhere close to Vatican City is a country, but not sure what the Holy See is. Obviously know what Palestine is, but never heard of the Holy See. But again, literally just like a school report on a country. I'd love to be able to actually go to these countries and film stuff. Just to know that people actually get to travel once they get some success on YouTube. It's just insane. It's so insane to me. Because I will have time-lapse videos in the next couple months, 6 years done, elapsing into the 7th year. And I cannot get my feet underneath me. I cannot get any momentum behind me. I cannot move forward with my life. And there was nothing more than I want than outside of this process of abuse. But that is what I'm going to be doing for my history project this year. And just keep moving on, doing the best I can. I can't control people abusing me. I can't control it stopping. But it is so fucking absurd. One person out of hundreds of thousands of individuals could make one decision, and my life would change permanently and forever. I'm not asking for publication. That would get you 100 million. Within 1 year of publication, the actual acknowledgement of what I've done, 100 million is yours. Your family is set forever. But anybody to get me just out of the process of abuse, I will personally pay you right now today $25,000 for a referral fee for some sort of that gets me a stable job, or $250,000. Every penny that I have legally to have a contract that says you will be employed for indefinitely, or you will be employed at this pay rate for sure, and that is it. I just want basic financial stability. So if somebody out there could help me, that'd be great. Each day that passes that doesn't, somebody else will be punished legally and lawfully, and we'll change all of the laws to make sure the laws make fucking sense. So thank you for watching another episode of Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 209, Taxation is Theft. And we don't have constitutional rights, it is super theft. And when an entire country did that, a bunch of colonies said, fuck it, we're going to be United States of America now. It looks like we did full circle, right back. And if one person doesn't have rights, the whole fucking country doesn't have rights, and I do not. And this country is disgusting. Local law enforcement, local newscasters, people that I know personally, my teachers, my parents, my family, my old friends, you guys won't do one thing to help me. Why not? But like my mom said, who would even want to help you? I do. I don't give a fuck who hates me. I care about myself, and I want my life to get better. And I've committed direct actions, developed property, and developed skill sets that should legally occur. And it doesn't, and nobody cares. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.